Fuzz Jackson, number 196 audio. Can you clap for me?
No on beat.
He tells.
What's the dance?
Oh, I can lean up for it. Lean on me.
I'm waiting.
When
All right, I'm ready.
Introduce yourself, sir.
Yo, what's up? Fuzz Jackson, born in GA, residing in Z. I'm here. Let me do another one. That was
Yeah,
better.
you probably don't smack your leg.
Yeah.
wasn't
I just
ready.
realized what I was doing. Hey, what's up? My name is Fuzz Jackson. I'm from GA now, living in Z, live in Wilmington. I'm a rapper / everything else,
AKA your mom's favorite rapper.
AKA your mom's favorite rapper. Yeah.
Let's see. Where do we want to start? All right. So, Fuzz, I don't want to start there. Get you warmed up first.
All right.
You don't have an MPV. So, do you remember the first time you heard Easy E Boys in the Hood? And you got to answer it like, yo,
I got you. Okay. The first time I heard Boys in the Hood, I think I was in Augusta, Georgia, 10th grade, going to school on the school bus. One of my homies had it in a Walkman. He just got the tape. And that was the first time I heard it on the way to school, 10th grade.
And at that time, did you have any idea what a 64 Impala was?
I did, but the only...
Remember you gotta say it.
Okay, that's right. Sorry. I remembered what a 64 Impala was because of the Cheech and Chong movies. Like I saw a couple of those movies, and I think they were driving in one of those. But that was all I remember. I never really thought about rappers really talking about those cars at that time, you know?
What is your favorite song about, like hip hop song about what makes you think of a car? And
My
why?
favorite hip hop car song has to be, I know one of my favorites, man, I remember growing up, has to be LL Cool J, Cars Drive By with the Booming Systems. That was it.
And why?
Off the Mama Said Knock You Out album. Why was that my favorite? Because I just got my first car. It was a 1984 Renault Alliance with no booming system. But that was the theme song. When I got that car, I put the tape in, and me and my homies got in the car, we rode out. That was the theme song, man. Even though the car was a piece of shit, but that was the tape. That's what you had to play when you had the car, when you have no booming system. But you know, out of trouble.
Yeah.
Out of trouble.
LL Cool J had a couple like car songs, like Backseat of My Jeep.
And if you back it up a little bit, going back to Cali, if you had a nice system, that was the song you go to after Cars Drive By with the Booming System. You play Going Back to Cali.
What kind of car did he drive in? What kind of car was he in the video?
The car he drove in Going Back to Cali was a black Corvette.
Yeah, it was.
Yep, it was a black Corvette.
So what region do you associate with box Chevys? And why?
The region, definitely Southeast, man. GA, Florida.
Remember, like, you gotta put the question in the statement.
Okay. I think the region that stands out for me with the box cars would definitely have to be the Southeast, man. You're talking GA, Florida. I have relatives in both states, so I would see them when I would go to Florida, and then when I would come back to Georgia, especially like in Atlanta area, when they first started popping off. That was crazy because that wave hit, and then it pretty much stayed once it hit. I mean, even now, it's not, as big, but it's still like an underground movement.
What was the most popular car you remember seeing growing up?
the popular car I've seen growing up.
Like when you were when you're a Ute.
Oh man, lowrider trucks, man. That's
When I was young.
when I was
what's
young.
going on?
When I was young, I remember, you know, when I was young, I remember seeing the lowrider trucks in high school, like freshman year, and I remember I wanted one so bad. I begged my dad for one, and that's how I got the Renault. I got a Renault instead, but that whole era was crazy because I knew dudes that were just putting speakers in the beds of trucks, gutting out trucks inside and out. I mean, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. That and the Samurai Suzuki, because EPMD rapped about it. But yeah, that was crazy time. Lowrider trucks and Samurai Suzukis.
What song did EPMD rap about? And quote the lyrics.
The song that Eric Sermon rapped about the Samurai Suzukis, I think it was Strictly Business.
Spit them
I
bars.
drive a Corvette. He drives a Samurai Suzuki. Man, I can't nail it down right now, but I just remember that on the album. And 2 weeks later, a dude I knew named Diego had a Samurai Suzuki, new plates on it, because of the EPMD tape. Crazy.
Nice, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because with the Samurai Suzuki, you could take the top down.
You
It
take
was
the top down, yeah. But you know, the crazy thing about that, man, is that everybody tried to compete because I think that's when the Geo Tracker came out and Brand Nubian had the video. I think it was Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down. I think they're in the Tracker. And people, because my friend David Munoz bought a blue, shout out to David, brought a blue Geo Tracker with the white rag top, and I never liked riding in it because I was always afraid it was gonna turn over. But yeah, he got that because of the Brand Nubian joint. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then in the OGC video, they had like the Isuzu Rodeo or something like that.
Yep, the rodeo. That was crazy, man. SUVs were the shit. Like,
What's crazy, Fuzz? Talk to
it's
us.
that was a crazy time. You know, all these street rappers and stuff like that had changed the game with just talking about the different cars they drove in or the videos. You know, and for us living in Georgia, we didn't know what it was like anywhere past South Carolina. So for us to see that, you know, say, oh, I'm gonna save my money and go get a Suzuki. I'm gonna save my money and get a Tracker. I don't need one. I mean, I don't. I'm just gonna get one because I saw Brand Nubian with one, or I'm gonna get an EPMV, or I'm gonna get an MPV because Wu-Tang had one, or Boot Camp Click. Like that was the wave for everybody down here, man. Like, I mean, I don't know about here, but I know in Georgia, we were so fascinated by northern vibes, anything that came from up north, especially cars, yo. Like,
So do you feel cars are part of hip hop culture?
Yes, I do think cars are a part of hip hop culture. I think without hip hop culture, we wouldn't know what a lot of cars are and were. You know,
For instance,
like, you know, we wouldn't know what the Suzuki, we wouldn't know about the Tracker. Now it's the Murcielago, the Lambo. And, you know, with people making references to these vehicles, whether, you know, people want to believe it or not, those sales go up. You know, now everybody talks about Phantoms and Bentleys and Maybachs and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, I think hip hop, not only that, man, hip hop increases, you know, the buying power. It makes people that, you know, get into this game that can make some money be like, yo, I want to get a Ferrari because I heard so-and-so rap about it. And that's a statement proving that I made it. So I think it definitely goes hand in hand.
So when you either get a new car or just getting a new car, or like say you rent a car, what's usually like one of your go-to songs to kind of throw on? Like, what is there like a car song that you like put in to, you know?
When I rent a vehicle, when I rent a vehicle, it's funny. When I rent a vehicle, there is a song that I play every time I get into it, and it's "What's Going On" by Marvin Gaye. I don't know, something about that song and driving, especially a long distance, takes your mind off things. I don't know. It's a go-to.
So looking through like a hip hop lens, late '80s, and early '90s, seemed like the Jeep Wrangler was popular like in New York. Why do you think that was?
Why do I think the Jeep Wrangler was popular in New York? Dougie Fresh, Master Ace, by far. I remember Dougie Fresh, 89, 88, the world's greatest the world's greatest entertainer album. Say that 3 times. Anyway, he had a song, I think it was "Give It All You Got" in the video. He had the Cherokee, and everybody wanted to get the Cherokee. And then Master Ace came out with the Slaughterhouse album, and then he had the Wrangler, and then everybody went and got Wranglers and put systems in it. So, and Nine had the video where he was riding around the city of New York in the red Jeep Wrangler. So, I mean, that was big. That was big.
Yeah, CB4.
CB4. The scene from Who's the Man with Busta Rhymes when the leaders of New School get pulled over. They're in a Jeep Wrangler, aren't they? Something like that, yeah.
I know New Jack City with the Wrangler.
New Jack City, yeah. I mean, like I said, once hip hop, it's crazy because I feel like with cars, once hip hop gives it the stamp, then it's like, okay, we can go buy this now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the funny thing about it. Back then, nobody really wasn't thinking about a MPV wagon. But as soon as you seen Wu-Tang jump out of it, he was like, yo, this shit is cool. You know what I mean?
Did you ever want an MPV?
I did at one point, man. But I didn't have enough friends to ride with me to get one. Not at that time.
Let's see. Also, Kumo D had a Wrangler on his album cover as well.
Kumo D?
On his first, I think it might have been his first album.
It's Wild Wild West, right? Was it that album?
I think so, yes.
Kumo D. See?
He had the Renegade package. So, I don't know. Tell me some of the stories that you were telling me before.
Stories about cars.
Yes. Go ahead and freestyle a little bit.
My favorite car that I ever owned was a 1997 Honda Accord LX 2-door, Euroed out. This is like right around the time the Fast and Furious started popping off, but it was before the movie, so I was kind of first on it. But I had 17-inch rims, I had Yokohama tires on it, I had 212s. This car was crazy, man. I put a lot of time into it, and it was like my first real like car that stood out that I had, and shit got stolen from my apartment. Woke up one day and it was just gone. Found it like a week later in the hood on bricks. No, it wasn't even on bricks. It was on cardboard. I mean, not cardboard. It was on like plywood or something.
So when Ice Cube said 4 or 5 brothers and a mothership, known as the Deuce, and we all want to smother shit, did you know what he was talking about then?
When Ice Cube wrote that lyric for Steady Mobbin', yeah. I mean, we kind of knew he was talking about 4 or 5 of his homies in the car, you know, cruising, thinking about shit to get into. Pretty much that was the vibe that we got.
And so you knew it was about a Impala?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We knew it was about it. We definitely knew it was about Impala, just because we knew. First of all, Ice Cube was from the West Coast, but just because we automatically knew what he was talking about, and when the video came out, that pretty much was a wrap, you know.
So when you hear lyrics like when Kanye West said, what I rap for the drop of, hold on, I got a better version of that. But pretty much when Kanye West said, what do you think a rap for the drop a rap for? Did that automatically make you want to shit on rap for? Or did that affect you at all?
When Kanye made that lyric, I don't think that he was really trying to shit on RAV4s, but it definitely didn't make me want to go buy one. I was kind of like, damn, I thought they were kind of all right. But I understood the intent behind it, but yeah. It's funny too, because with hip hop, that's another thing too, right? Can make you not want to buy some shit. When somebody says something, you're like, damn, like, I don't want a RAV4. I don't want nobody in my family to have a RAV4 now. Fuck is a RAV4?
What's something else? So what's something else that maybe hip hop might have turned you away from, like far as cars?
Oh man, what I know what makes kids turn away from it now. I recently heard a Kodak Black song where he said, it's all about foreign cars. Fuck a Ford, that's a boring car. Like, so it's not about American-made shit anymore. It's all about the foreign shit. So that's where everybody's leaning to. Expensive foreign shit.
Yeah, it is where everybody's kind of like leading to. Except for like, I feel like Corvettes and Camaro and some Chevys still kind of whatever.
Yeah, well, Corvettes win in a sense because they have a faster vet, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So people are gravitating toward that, but that's about it though. Yeah.
All right. So one more time, tell people your name. Maybe I probably won't put this in it, but where they can find you,
Yeah.
like Fuzz, where you from, like kind of how you said in the beginning.
Yeah. I'm Fuzz Jax, representing the Mighty Monumental Music Crew. You can find me on Instagram at your mom's favorite rapper, one word. Twitter, North Jax, or Facebook, Fuzz Jackson. Thank you. Oh, and Grumpy Old Men Podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you. So anything else you can think of that I might have touched or add that you want to? Do you have a good car story or kind of hip hop car story involving you?
Do I have a hip hop car story involving me other than my car getting stolen?
That wasn't very hip hop.
That wasn't very hip hop. I can tell you about a couple of cars I drove when I used to detail cars at Jeff Gordon, but that'd be kind of boring.
I mean, you don't have to. I just want to make sure.
But yeah, that's about it, man. I don't really have too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank
I
you.
got a simple life. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fuzz Jackson, number 196 audio.
AKA your mom's favorite rapper. AKA your mom's favorite. No, on beat. Let's see. Where do we want to start? All right. So, Fuzz, I can lean up toward it. Lean on me.
I'm white.
When Introduce yourself, sir.
Yo, what's up? Fuzz Jackson, born in GA.
So, do you remember the first time you heard Easy Boys in the Hood? Yeah, you probably don't need to. Probably don't smack you. You got to answer it like, yo, the first time.
The first time I heard Boys in the Hood, I think I was in Augusta, Georgia, / everything else. 10th grade.
AKA your mom's favorite rapper.
AKA your mom's was one of my homies had it in Milwaukee.
Let's see. Where do we want to start?
First time I
All
heard
right. So, Fuzz, and at that time, did you have any idea what a 64 Impala was?
I did, but the only
Remember you guys say it.
I remember what a 64 Impala was because of the Cheech and Chong movies. Like I saw a couple of movies and I think
Do you remember the first time you heard Easy Boys in the Hood?
remember.
And you got to answer it like, the first time.
The first time I heard Boys in the Hood, I think I was in Augusta, Georgia.
What is your favorite song about, like hip hop song about what makes you think of a car, and why?
Favorite hip hop car song has to be. I know that was the first time I heard it. One of my favorites, man. I remember growing
And
up.
at that time, did you have any idea what a 64 Impala was?
Cool J. I did, but the only
Remember, you gotta say it.
Okay, that was it.
And why?
Mama said, knock you out. I remembered what. Why was that my favorite? Because I just got my first car. Like I said, 1984. I think Renault. They were driving one of those. But that was all I. But remember that was never really song. I got that car. I was tape in and talking about those cars. Almost got in the car on the road out. That was the theme song, man. Even though the car was.
What is your favorite song about, like hip hop song about what makes you think of a car, and why?
Favorite hip hop car song has to be. I know one.
LL Cool J had a couple like car songs, like Backseat of My Jeep.
I remember growing up. And if you back up a little bit, Jay, going back to Cali, cars drive by. We have a night system. That was a song you go
And
to.
why?
My mom said, "Knock you cars drive by with a boom." Why was that my favorite? Because I.
What kind of car did he drive in? What kind of car was he in the video?
1984. The car he drove and going back to Cali was black, but that was a theme song. When I got that car.
Yeah, it was.
Black Corvette, and me and my homies got in the car. That was a theme
So
song.
what region do you associate with box Chevys,
That was the tape.
and why?
And you had the car. The region is definitely southeast, man. GA,
Yeah.
Florida.
LL Cool J had a couple like car songs, like Backseat of My Jeep. You gotta put the question in the
And
statement.
if you back it up a little bit, going back to Cali, I think the region that stands out for me, that was a song you go to, lots of cars. Cars drive by with the boom system. You play going to southeast, and you're talking.
What kind of car did he drive in? What kind of car was he in the video?
I have relatives. The car he drove and going back to Cali was black. I would come back to Georgia, especially like the Atlanta area.
Yeah, it was.
When they black car popping out. That was
So
crazy, 'cause that
what
made it.
region do you associate with box Chevys,
I mean, even now, it's not.
and why?
It's big, but it's still definitely southeast, man. GA, Florida.
Remember, like,
what
was the most popular car you remember seeing growing up?
I think the region that stands out for me with the box
Like when you were in when you were a Ute.
Oh man, lowrider trucks, man. You're talking GA. That's Florida.
When I was young, when I was growing up.
When I was young, I remember. And then when I come back to Georgia. When I was young, I remember seeing like lowrider truck area, like freshman first started popping out, and I remember one so bad. That was crazy because that wave hit, and that's how I got in there. It pretty much stayed. I got a Renault instead, but it's not. That whole area was crazy because I know dudes that were just putting speakers in the beds of trucks, gutting out trucks inside and out.
What was the most popular car you remember seeing growing up?
And the Samurai Suzuki, popular car EPMC,
Like when you were in when you were a Ute.
Oh man, lowrider trucks, man. And Samurai Suzuki.
What song did EPMD rap about? When I was growing up, you quote the lyrics.
The song that when I was young, I rapped about the Samurai Suzuki. I think it was freshman year. And I remember I wanted one so
Spit
bad.
them bars.
I drive a Corvette, he drives a Samurai Suzuki, and that's how I got got a Renault instead. But I just remember that whole era was crazy because I knew dudes that were 2 weeks later speakers in the unedited trucks, gutting out trucks inside and out. I mean, it was crazy because it was crazy. And the Samurai Suzuki.
Because with the Samurai Suzuki, you could take the top down. It was like,
Top down, yeah. But you know, the crazy thing about that, man, is that everybody.
what song did EPMD rap about the Samurai Suzuki? You quote the lyrics.
The song that Brand Union had the video that Eric Summer rapped about, I think it was Punks Jump Up and Get Beat Down. I changed there in the tracker.
Spit them bars.
Because my friend David Munoz bought a blue, shout out David, bought a blue Geo tracker with a white rag top, and I never liked riding it because I was like, 2 weeks later, it's gonna turn no dude I knew name. But yeah, you got that as a brand new shirt. It's crazy new plates on it.
And then in the OGC video, they had like the Isuzu Rodeo. With the Samurai Suzuki, you could take the top down. It was like,
Top down, yeah. But you know, the crazy thing about
What's
that,
crazy?
man, is that
what's crazy, Fuzz? Talk to
It's
us.
that was a crazy time, you know, all these street rap trackers like that had, and Brand Union had the video change the game. I think it was Punks Jump Up and Talking Down, I think they're in the track. They drove in, or the videos, you know. And for us living in Georgia, we didn't know what it was like, David. Brought in Geo Tracker with the white rag top, and I never liked riding in it because I was like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to turn it over Suzuki. But yeah, he got that. I'm saying we're going to get a tracker. It's crazy.
And then in the OGC video, they had like the Isuzu Rodeo or something like that.
The rodeo had one or boot camp clip.
What's crazy, Fuzz? Talk to us.
That was a crazy time with Georgia. All the street rappers and stuff like that had northern vibes. Anything changed from up north. Just talking about, especially cars. Like they drove in or the video.
So do you feel cars are part of hip hop culture?
You know what it was like. I do think cars are a part of hip hop. For us to see that, I think without hip hop culture, we wouldn't know what a lot of cars are and what money get a track.
For instance,
like, I'm just gonna get one because I saw a brand new one in the war. I'm gonna get an EPMB or I'm gonna get a tracker because Wu-Tang now it's the Murcielago or Lambo or Bootcamp. People now it's the race for everybody vehicles, man. Whether I don't know about here, but I know in Georgia, we were so fascinated by now everybody talks about northern fandoms, vibes, anything that came from up north, Maybachs and all kinds, especially the cars. I think hip hop.
so do you feel cars are part of hip hop culture?
Yes, I do think cars that are a part of hip hop culture. Getting to this game that can make money without hip hop culture. I want to get a Ferrari because I heard a lot of cars are and were. That's a statement proving that I made.
For
So I
instance.
think definitely it's like
So when you either get a new car or just getting a new car or like say you rent a car, what's usually like one of your go-to songs to kind of throw on? Like what is there like a car song that you like put in to
now everybody talks about fandoms and Bentleys and Maybachs and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, hip hop. The last not only when I rent a vehicle, it's funny. When I rent a vehicle, there is a song, the bind that makes people every time I get into it. Get into this game that can make someone be like, yo, there's something about that song Ferrari because I was in so especially long distance. That's a statement proving that I made. So I think definitely goes hand in hand.
So when you either get a
looking
new car,
through
or
like a
just getting
hip hop
new
lens,
car,
late
or,
'80s,
like say you
early
rent a car,
'90s,
what
seemed like the
usually
Jeep
one of your
Wrangler
go-to
was popular
songs
like
to
in
kinda
New
throw
York.
on? Like,
Why do you
is there
think
like
that
a,
was?
Is there like a car song that you
Why do
like
I think the Jeep Wrangler
put
was
into,
popular in New York?
you know?
Dougie Fresh, Master Ace. When I rent a vehicle, I remember. When I rent a vehicle, it's funny. When I rent a vehicle, there is a song that I play every time it's entertainment. And it's the world's greatest entertainer album. I don't know something about that song. Anyway, driving, especially long distance. He had a song. I think it's Give All You Got in the video to go to. He had the Cherokee.
So looking through like a hip hop lens, late '80s, early '90s, seemed like the Jeep Wrangler was popular like in New York.
Why do you think that was?
And why do I think the Jeep Wrangler was popular? He was riding around Dougie Fresh in the red Jeep Wrangler. Master Ace. So
And then
that was big. I remember
CB4 and
Dougie Fresh.
New Jack.
Scene from Who's the Man with Busta Rhymes when he was in new school. World's Greatest Entertainer. They're in the World's Greatest Entertainer album, something like that. Yeah.
I know New Jack City was the Wrangler.
Yeah, I mean, he had a song. I think that once hip hop, it's crazy because I feel like with cars, once hip hop gives it the stamp, and then Master Ace came out like, okay, we can go buy this Slaughterhouse album. You know what I mean? Like that's the funny thing about it. Back then, everybody really wasn't thinking about it as MPV wagon. And but as soon as you see Wu-Tang jump out of it, riding around, just like riding around the city in the red, you know what I mean? So
Did you ever want an MPV?
I did at one
CB4
point,
and
friends around me to get one. See Who's the Man with Busta Rhymes. I had that in new school, get pulled over. They're in a Jeep Wrangler on it.
see. I know New Jack City was the
Also,
Wrangler.
Kumo D had a Wrangler on his album cover as well.
Once hip hop, it's crazy because I feel like
On his first, I think it might have been his first album.
Wild Wild West, like, okay, we can go buy that album. You know what I mean? That's the funny thing about it.
I think so, yes.
Wasn't thinking about a MPV wagon.
'Cause,
He had the Renegade
But as soon as
package.
you seen Wu-Tang jump out of it, he was like, yo, this shit is cool. You know what I mean?
So, did you ever want an MPV? I don't know. Tell me some of the stories that you were telling me before.
But I didn't have enough friends to ride with stories about cars.
Yes. Go ahead and freestyle a little bit.
My favorite car that I ever owned was a
Let's see.
1997
Also, Kumo D had a Wrangler on his album cover as well.
Euroed out Kumo D.
On his first, I think it might have been his first album.
Right,
It's,
it's Wild West, right? Fast and Furious started popping that album, but it was before the movie. That was my first on
I
it.
think so, yes.
But I had 17-inch rims, I had Yokohama tires on it.
He had the Renegade package.
This car was crazy, man. I put a lot of time into it. And, it was like my first.
So, I don't know. Tell me some of the stories that you were telling me before.
Shit got stolen. Stories about cars.
Yes. Go ahead and freestyle a little bit.
My favorite car that I ever owned was a. Well, it wasn't even on brick. 1997 cardboard. I mean, not cardboard. It was on plywood or something. Euroed out.
So when Ice Cube said 4 or 5 brothers in a mothership, known as a deuce, and we all want to smother shit. Did you know what he was talking about then?
I was kind of first on it. When Ice Cube wrote that lyric, yeah, I mean, you kind of knew he was talking about 4 or 5 homies in the car. This car was crazy, man. I put a lot of time into it, and thinking about shit to get into. It was like my first real. Pretty much that was the vibe that we got. Like car that's out.
And
Shit got stolen.
and so you knew it was about a Impala.
Yeah. We knew it was about it. We definitely knew it was about Impala in the hood. Just because we knew, well, it wasn't even on brick. First of all, Ice Cube. I mean, not cardboard. It was on just because plywood or something. We automatically knew what he was talking about.
So when Ice Cube said 4 or 5 brothers in a mothership, known as a deuce, and we all want to smother shit. So when you hear lyrics like when Kanye West said, "What I rap for the driver," but pretty much when Kanye West said, "What do you think a rap for the driver rap for?" Did that automatically make you want to shit on rap for? Did that affect you at all? And so you knew it was about a Impala.
Yeah, he was really trying to shit on rap for us, but we knew it was about it. We definitely knew it was about Impala. I was kind of like, just because we knew, all right. But I understood the intent behind it, but yeah, you automatically knew what he was talking about. It's funny, when the video came out, that's another thing too, right? It make you not know about it.
So when you hear lyrics like when Kanye West said, "What I rap for the driver," what's something else? So what's something else Kanye West said maybe hip hop might have turned you away from, like driver rap cars? Did that automatically make you want to shit on rap for? Or did that affect you at all?
When I know that lyric makes kids that people really trying to shit on rap for us, but I recently heard about a Kodak Black song. I was kind of like, damn, it's all about foreign cars. But I understood the intent behind it, it's not about American made shit anymore. It's all about. It's funny too, because with hip hop, that's where everybody. That's another thing too, right? It make you not expensive foreign shit,
Yeah, it is where everybody's kind of like leading to. So I feel like Corvettes and Camaro and some Chevys still kind of. What's something else? So what's something else that maybe hip hop might have turned you away from, like far as cars?
And it's cheap.
Yeah.
So people grab. I know what toward that, but kids. That's how it goes down.
All right. So one more time, tell people your name. Maybe I probably won't put this in it, but where they can find you, like Fuzz, way from, like kind of how you said in the beginning.
Yeah, so that's Fuzz Jax representing the mighty monumental music foreign shit. Find me on Instagram.
Yeah, it is where everybody's kind of like leading to. So I feel like Corvettes and Camaro and some Chevys still kind of whatever.
Yeah, well, the Corvettes win in a sense because thank you.
Thank you. So anything else you can think of that I might have touched or asked that you want to? Yeah.
So people to grab.
Again, do you have a good car story or kind of hip hop car story involving you?
Yeah, I have
All right. So one more time, tell people your name, That wasn't very hip hop. I probably won't put this in it, but where they can find you, like like Fuzz, where you from, like kind of how you said in the beginning.
Fuzz Jax representing the mighty monumental.
I mean, you don't have to. I just want to make sure.
Instagram at your mom's favorite rapper, one word. Twitter, North
Well, thank you
Jackson,
for
or Facebook.
thank you for
Fuzz
coming.
Jackson. Thank you. And Grumpy Old Man podcast. Thank you. Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you. So, anything else you can think of that I might have touched or asked that you want to? Do you have a good car story or kind of hip hop car story involving you?
Do I have a hip hop car story involving me other than my car getting stolen?
Yeah. That wasn't very hip hop.
That wasn't very hip hop. I can tell you about a couple of cars I drove when I used to detail cars at Jeff Gordon, but that'd be kind of boring.
No. I mean, you don't have to. I just want to make sure.
But yeah, that's about it, man. I don't have too much.
Okay. Well, thank you for.
Thank you.
Thank you for
I
coming.
appreciate it.